She's at the gym, and she meets this other woman. And Karen thinks this other woman is fine, and she immediately falls in love with her. Here's the problem. Karen is already married to this guy, James Craig. Not only that, they have like 3 kids together, so it would be really hard for her to just leave. So instead of leaving James Craig, Karen just starts going to the gym a lot more, where she regularly sees this other woman. Now the other woman, her name's Sunny, and Sunny's a personal trainer at that gym. So then Karen becomes a personal trainer as well. And now Karen and Sunny are together all the time. And eventually, they hit it off romantically. Here's the thing about Karen, though. She's an honest person. I mean, she can't keep secrets from her husband, so she goes to him and she tells him the truth, that she's having a romantic fling with this woman at the gym. Now, here's the thing about James Craig. He's a very controlling person. He has tons of rules. He gives Karen a curfew. He limits the amount of money she can spend. He insists that she smash with him every night at 8 o'clock sharp, and then he makes her go to bed by 9. It's weird. Regardless, Karen tells James Craig about her affair with Sunny. And surprisingly, James Craig is all for it. He's like, go ahead. It's not going to affect our marriage. In fact, he's so for it, he keeps trying to get himself involved. He starts sending Sunny flowers and nice texts. He keeps trying to talk them into a threesome. But unfortunately for James Craig, the 2 women don't want him involved. And then they say no. And during all this, Karen and Sunny's relationship and their feelings for one another keep getting more and more serious. And James Craig, he sees that they're falling in love. And he realizes he's losing control of his wife. And he's like, I cannot let this happen. So he goes and he accepts a new job out of state, and he moves Karen and his family far away from Sunny, from Texas to Missouri. Now, Karen moves with her family, but she refuses to let her relationship with Sunny go. So she and Sunny continue their fling long distance, through emails, through phone calls, sometimes they visit each other. But then, one night, Karen and James Craig go back to Texas to attend their friend's New Year's Eve party. So they're at this party with all their friends, and Sunny shows up, and things are about to get crazy. Now, I imagine at this point, everyone's a little drunk, and Karen and Sunny, they start openly flirting and making physical contact in front of everyone. And eventually they wander off and some people at the party catch them kissing. And James Craig finds out about this and he is pissed and he's embarrassed and he's humiliated, and they get into a huge fight, which I guess sort of devolves into a shoving match, and all their friends are standing around like, awkward. So then James Craig feels like he has no other choice. He gives Karen an ultimatum. It's either Sunny or me. So then a few weeks later, Karen files for divorce. And this is where James Craig starts losing his mind. His behavior gets all erratic. At one point, he commits battery on Karen and gets arrested. So Karen's like, F this, and she takes the kids and she moves out. And then James Craig becomes obsessed with her. He starts stalking her a little bit and spying on her. At one point, he takes the air out of her tires and installs spyware on her home computer. In fact, he becomes so obsessed with Karen, he starts looking at old family photo albums during work. And he eventually gets fired. And with no job and no family, at 46 years old, he embarrassingly has to move back to Kansas and live with his parents. Then, sometime later, Thanksgiving rolls around. And that evening, Karen and the kids are at their grandmother's house, which is also in Kansas, about an hour away from where Craig and his parents live. So Karen, the 3 kids, and the grandmother are in the house. And then suddenly, boom, Craig busts in through the back door, and he's carrying a rifle. And Karen is there in the kitchen with their 10-year-old son, Sean, and they are scared out of their minds. So then James Craig, he picks up the rifle, and he aims it at Karen, and he shoots her. Twice. And she falls to the floor, while Sean, he's able to duck down and he runs out the back door. But James Craig, he just keeps going through the house. He goes to the living room and he shoots Karen's 89-year-old mother. And then he shoots his own 18-year-old daughter. And then finally, he goes upstairs and he shoots his other daughter. She's 16. Meanwhile, 10-year-old Sean, he runs to a neighbor's house and he has them call police. The next morning, police find James Craig and they arrest him. Here's his mugshot. So he goes to trial and he's found guilty of capital murder, and he's sentenced not to life, but to death. And to this day, he's still alive, but he's on death row. And this all happened in Missouri, so